Welcome back to another episode of the Bournemouth Career Mode, where last episode we beat Everton 3-0, we drew to Manchester United, beat Nottingham Forest, and then beat Dortmund 3-1 in the Europa League. This episode we have Crystal Palace, we have Dortmund in the second leg, we have Tottenham, West Ham United, and possibly the FA Cup semi-final against Manchester City. Obviously, like I said in last episode, if you did watch it, I am focusing a lot more on the Premier League as we get to the end of the season. With 8 games left to go, we are sitting 13 points off that Europa League spot in 5th. I don't think we'll actually get there this season. We do have a game against Tottenham, who's literally top of the league. We do play Chelsea. We don't play Newcastle anymore. Leicester City, Burnley, Liverpool. But then also the Europa League second leg as well. We are going to go ahead and play this Crystal Palace game by playing the highlights of it and getting into this next leg. Get into it. Well, oh, I forgot I'm playing highlights. Just wondering why I don't have control. Corner kick here for Crystal Palace, 4 minutes into the game. Now, Crystal Palace are right underneath us. However, they are 8 points behind us. So there's that gap between 10th and 11th, 9th and 10th, something like that. It's still in there, and Fofana is able to take a touch and lose the ball. And we get a counterattack 12 minutes in. McAllister is going to be the main man carrying up the field. He has Fofana over the top. He sends him as well. Fofana takes a first touch that's poor. Keeps it with him, though. And Fofana's going with the shot from outside the box. Blocked. McAllister, Yunus Musa now. Yunus Musa out to Reina. Reina loses the ball. Why is Reina on the right? Can I make that? Can I change that? I can't. Crossed in. Ranch won't win the header. Henderson forced to make the save. It's going to be out for a corner. We obviously don't get that, but we get this attack here. And it's going to be Fofana with the ball. And Kaya right next to him. Cooper, the closest man to Fofana. He's looked to find Nketiah. I can't do so. I did that so poorly. I feel like this might be one of our last chances here. And it's Nketiah on the ball. Nketiah can't find Fofana. This is for sure the last chance here. 85 minutes in. It's McAllister. McAllister will lose the ball. And that's game over. We tie 1-0. I absolutely messed that up completely. And now they get the ball rolling. Second leg against Dortmund. We're going to jump into a simulation. We are 3-1. If they score first, we'll jump in. But honestly, I have enough faith in these boys to get the job done and go into the second leg. The semi-final second leg. Like I said, the job is going to be done by our boys. Marquinhos makes it 1-0, 28 minutes. Thiago gets one back. It's 4-2 now on aggregate. And Fofana makes it 5-2. And Fofana with the brace to make it 6-2. Like I said, the boys get the job done. We're into the semifinals. On aggregate, it is 6-2. Fofana gets his hat trick. It's 7-2 on aggregate. Goals and plentiful. There's the final whistle. The home fans are due. It's a 7-2 victory, 4-1 win on the day. We're into the semifinal of the Europa League. Alright, top of the table. I honestly don't have much hope in myself or the EA, so I'm just going to go ahead and quick sim, and we do lose 4-1. I kind of expected that to be the result no matter which way that game was played, so we just get it out the way. And now we can focus on, I don't think we'll even get Europa League football. We can focus on FA Cup semi-final, which is against Man City in a couple days. as well as the not Champions League, the Europa League semifinal, which we actually get lucky and get PSV, which means Inter versus Juventus. And if we get to the final, we play one of these two teams, which honestly, that's fitting. It'll be a hard test. I doubt we win it, but it'll be one hell of a game. Now, West Ham United currently 3 points ahead of us. Can we get Europa League at all? We are at 43 points. They are at 58, 15. I mean, it's possible. 6 times 3, 18. It's possible. It's highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. So we're going to have to fight through it. And actually, it's incredibly unlikely. So we're just going to quick sim this game against West Ham. A 2-2 draw. That pretty much puts us out of that Europa League race. We focus on the FA Cup semifinal here against Man City. And then the Europa League semifinal first leg against PSV. Wait a minute. I almost started an intro to a video. Manchester City in the FA Cup semifinal. We are back to our traditional 4-3-3 formation with Nkosi back in that starting 11. Now, Manchester City, it's an insane team. They are in the championship, obviously, because we put them in League 2. Foden, Haaland, Mahrez, De Bruyne, Silva, Rodri, Estupiñán, Diaz, Ake, Cancelo, Ederson. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a hard game. I doubt we even win it at all. But let's get straight into it. I got to change this real quick. Wrench and Lewis. And then we'll get into it. Mahrez, Hermoso, Haaland. Marquinhos over the top for Eddie. Eddie is still going. Marquinhos into Gio Reyna. He's in and he's in through. And it's 1-0 for Bournemouth. It's a beautiful ball, and Gio Reyna sneaks behind that defensive line and grabs an early goal.
Well, here it is again. What a ball that.
Gio Reyna. Gio Reyna just slowly carrying up the field, finding Nkosi back over the top for Gio Reyna. He's in for his brace, and Gio Reyna. It's 2-0. 12 minutes in Bournemouth, and Gio Reyna has a brace. And we might be punching a ticket through the semifinals into the final for, I think it might be 3 seasons in a row. I can't lie. Surely it's 3 seasons in a row. Is this season 3? First season, we got to FA Cup final. I think we lost to Wolves, if I'm not mistaken. Or did we beat Wolves in the second one? We won the second season. This is the 3rd season. We might be FA Cup experts out here. We're in the attack again. Gio Reyna's on a hat trick. Into McAllister, into Nkosi. Nkosi in for Eddie Nketiah. Eddie Nketiah makes it 3. And Ederson in no man's land in Bournemouth. 15 minutes gone and we're up 3-0. But as soon as Haaland gets some control of this game, it might switch up.
Well, here's the goal.
A club can never be guaranteed nowadays, so well worth pointing out.
Haaland, I told you, let Haaland get control, and he might take over. It's our 150th game, by the way, of this career mode. And it's going to be KDB on the corner right now. 18 minutes in, 19 minutes in. Wrench, header clear as far as to Phillips. Mahrez, Phillips. Gio Reyna wins the ball back slightly, but it finds Rodri. Phillips, KDB wrenches there to shut it down. And now Reyna. Musa, McAllister will lose the ball.
Riyad Mahrez.
Phillips, Mahrez, Traore, Mahrez, McAllister in the midfield. And Nkosi, Gio Reyna, Musa. We're moving it. Marquinhos. Almost 4. Ederson says no. Did Yunus, Musa, and McAllister switch? They did. They got switched back, and are y'all good? Stay back and balance. Yeah, okay. Oh, how have I missed these Nkosi corner deliveries from the left. He whips it in. Gio Reyna on the header, no. Nkosi on the second ball, back in the mix, no. McAllister will half win it, finding Silva, now Wrench. Gio Reyna, Kabori's there. Why is Cancelo number 13? I guess they signed someone when Ederson. Cancelo was out on loan. KDB carrying up the field. Man City have to get one back before halftime. They might. It's Grealish now. Grealish against Hermoso. Hermoso shuts it down. Marquinhos now. In for Eddie Nketiah. Can he get past Ruben Diaz? He can. Eddie Nketiah 4-0 and punch our ticket to the final for back-to-back seasons. And we're going to have an easier final than what we might have in the Europa League.
This is counter-attacking football at its
4-0 in the first half. It's still a first half.
There's only one thought in his head. Smash it as hard as possible. What a good goal.
Well, you've got to say, an incredible first half performance. That scoreline tells you all you need to know.
McAllister into Nkosi. Nkosi, he's trying to get on the action. He will. It's 5-0. And Man City are falling apart, but next season, when they're back into the Premier League, it's going to be a scary sight. But for now, it's a 5-0 thrash.
Well, as you can see, the weight of the through ball is key to this goal.
And then Nkosi's first proper start back into the team. And he scores an absolute beauty of a goal. And it's 5-0. Oh, fuck. And Nketiah is going to come off for Kone. Prestiani is going to come on for Marquinhos. And Nkosi is going to come off for Shrankins. Kawar's coming on. Musa's coming on. And if I can, I don't think I can. Yep. Okay. So Fresnada might have to start the first leg against PSV. We quick to result a 5-1 win, and Bete scoring for Manchester City to ruin our clean sheet, but it won't matter. We're into the final of the FA Cup. And we will play Wolves. And if I remember right, which I might not, it might be a rematch of the first season FA Cup final. I don't know why I have it in my brain that we played them in the first season. Maybe we played them in the second season. I definitely feel like we played them in the semifinal or in the final. But that'll be probably next episode. What did we do this episode? We wrapped up Dortmund. We wrapped up Tottenham. We wrapped up Crystal Palace. We didn't really play any games. We will include the first leg here against PSV in this episode. Alright, semifinal first leg. Let's get into it here against PSV. Gio Reyna is on great form at the moment. He's finding Nketiah out wide to Marquinhos. Marquinhos will win the ball back after a poor effort. Marquinhos in for Eddie. And Nketiah forced to make the early save. And it's out for a corner. McAllister crossed in. Wrench off of the bar. And Nketiah into the back of the net. I'm not sure what just happened with my voice when I said wrench there. But Nketiah scores the rebound, and Bournemouth had the 1-0 lead early here against PSV. This was a powerful header too by Wrench. Off of the crossbar. Keeper absolutely flying to no man's land. And it's 1-0. Hermoso, Xavi Simons, Silva just boots it. But as far as to Haidarda, and they're still in, and Silva is going to make out for his lack of clearance. McAllister into Yunus Musa, out wide to Gio Reyna. Gio Reyna into Eddie Nketiah. Eddie Nketiah out for Nkosi. It's 2-0. And Bournemouth might be on their way to the final already after only one leg. Why am I finding great form now? Where was this like earlier in the season?
Well, not the pass he had in mind.
Marquinhos.
Olivier Boscagli.
Javi Simmons. Joao Pedro. I feel like I played Joao Pedro last season. Gio Reyna. Eddie Nketiah. Eddie Nketiah trying to find Nkosi. Can't do so. Oh, how much have I missed Nkosi? Marquinhos. Eddie Nketiah.
An inability to keep hold of the ball there.
Javi Simmons. Haidara. Joao Pedro. Shot just wide. It's a warning shot for us that they're not completely out of it. But we can make them if we score the third early. Marquinhos outside now. Marquinhos in for McAllister. McAllister in for Nkosi. In for Eddie Nketiah on the brace, and it's 3-0. Like I said, we score the third and it might be over for PSV.
As a contest.
Now, unless they score one right before halftime, I don't see them coming back into it, at least this leg of this game. Maybe the second leg they come out big at their own home. But for now, we are shutting them completely down. And it's El Ghazi trying to save it. Rico Lewis trying to stop it. Rico Lewis, I can't see what's happening. There's a fucking flag in my face for whatever reason. We commit the foul somehow.
And that short pass, this could be interesting. And the cross not quite accurate enough.
Marquinhos.
Can they hit on the break?
Marquinhos still going. Marquinhos just cutting at the field. Marquinhos cutting in. And he'll lose the ball.
PSV regaining possession.
Joao Pedro.
Trying to really get at the
Joao
opposition
Pedro.
here.
Joao Pedro. Joao Pedro. El Ghazi. And PSV do get one goal back. And still in the first half, it's 3-1. They're telling us to calm down, mate. Mate, you're down 3-1. Shut the hell up. Let's get it. Still got a lot of room to go. Still got a lot of time to go, to be fair.
It's so hard to defend against, and the finish is just as good. That's an excellent goal.
So there it is, 3-1 the current scoreline here.
El Ghazi. Haidara. Javi Simmons. El Ghazi. Boscagli. I don't know. I butchered his name. Eddie Nketiah now. We had a chance to break Eddie Nketiah in for Marquinhos. Marquinhos cutting out wide. Marquinhos looking to find Gio Reyna. Probably should have took him a couple more touches. Nketiah will get it though. Eddie Nketiah trying to be fancy and he loses the ball as well.
Joao Pedro.
Joao Pedro. Javi Simmons. Joao Pedro. Javi Simmons.
And the flag is
Javi Simmons was offside.
Well, that's just a lack of awareness. He was clearly in an offside position.
Rico Lewis. McAllister. McAllister. In for Marquinhos. Can we get 4 before the break? Marquinhos off of the crossbar. And we will go into the break up 3-1 here against PSV.
And there it is, the half-time whistle.
Hermoso trying to shut down this cross. Hermoso doesn't. Javi Simmons in. Saved by Henderson. Gathered and cleared and punched out. And then again gathered once more. Henderson doing decent work. McAllister not so much. Putting us under pressure again. Oh my lord. And Dean Henderson doesn't have to make the save. The shots out wide and Fresnada on for Rico Lewis.
And a substitution in the offing.
Hermoso out to wrench. Gio Reyna in for Eddie Nketiah. Eddie Nketiah. Eddie Nketiah on the hat trick. It's 4-1. And that 3-goal lead is restored. McAllister and Nkosi. And Nkosi 5-1 for Bournemouth. An absolute banger from Nkosi. And that might be the one to seal the deal and push us into the final of the Europa League. Does this go through Gio Reyna? No, it's a beautiful ball. It's an outside of the curve type of ball. in a 5-win absolute smashing here against PSV. And then Kosie's on a hat-trick now.
Superbly. Well, totaling up all the stoppages, we'll have 2 additional minutes. Oh, good vision.
Joao Pedro trying to get a second one before going to the second leg. Crossed in, Silva's there, and we will go into the second leg with a 5-1 lead here against PSV. And we might have just punched our ticket into the final of the Europa League here with Bournemouth. And when we come back next episode, it will be the season finale where we will wrap up the league. We currently sit mid-table. It's been 3 seasons with lackluster Premier League finishes. I promise I will focus on this more next season. As well as the FA Cup final against Wolves. A possible rematch if I'm not dumb. A possible rematch against Wolves either from the first season or the second season in the FA Cup. And then the wrapping up of the Europa League second leg, in which I'll probably simulate through that and get into the final, which is against Juventus or Inter, and then we'll play that final. I will see y'all next episode. Go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, and peace out.